I forgot to push record, so we're going to push record right now. So if you haven't done the new coach training, we're getting to, I think we did it today. There's a step, like look at your 5. When you go to your page, what does your Facebook page say about you? And you're going to learn a lot by you looking at your Facebook page as an outsider and seeing what other people see. So like if you were to just go to your Facebook page, what would you gather from you instantly? Mine is I'm into faith. I run a fitness business. I have twins. I am married. I live in Florida. I work out. I eat right. I'm dairy free. Like that's the stuff that I'm posting on my page. So that's who I'm going to connect with. So, okay. So, let's go into, I'm going to pull up our questions here. So a lot of the girls were asking about talking to people about coaching specifically and
signing up for challenge packs. I want to just get these people to do it. It's like, for me, I can't really get them to, I can't get myself past that point of asking them, hey, do you want to do this? Because I've got a couple good people that I think would be awesome. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I just don't know how to ask them, like, to make them want to do it. But you know what? That goes back to the 6-month thing. I need to put it on my damn wall. 6 months. Right.
There she is. 6 months what? That it takes? Is that how long it took you, was 6 months?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's hard. It's really hard to sit back and wait. And I literally had this I wish, Lisa, that you could have been a fly on the wall with the conversation I had with my coach today, because I think it's what you needed to hear too. It's really hard to sit back and watch other coaches having successful points or enrolling coaches, and you're like, you're doing the same things. Like, we're using the same tools. Like, what the heck is going on? So you need to put your blinders on. You need to focus and post to your niche, and just like I said, like knowing your story and knowing how long it took you to get into that place of feeling comfortable. And the difference between those who see success and and those who don't is the ones that give up and say, nah, 2 months in, this isn't for me. Like, forget it. If Lindsay Matway would have done that, she would have quit. Melanie Mitro, she didn't hit Success Club her first few months. They were the top coach in 2013 and 2014.
Well, what I keep telling myself is this is a business, and in a business you have overhead, and that's just the way it is, and you have to advertise and you have to do it, and so that's where we're at then with advertising.
And I think that's a really good mindset. As this is a business. This is not like a get rich quick. This is not a quick sign up 8 distributors and you reach a new level and here you are and you get this car and this and that, Like, that's not the way this works. Like, Beachbody really prides itself on us being able to run our business how we want to run it. I'm able to focus on my relationship with Christ and talk about that freely in my business because it's my business. Like, this is how I want to run it. This is what drives my business. Other coaches, maybe they don't even have God in their life, and that's fine. That's their business. But that's a really cool thing, like, for you to say, Lisa, like, this is a business. And sometimes it takes a while to get off, and sometimes you have really, really great months, and then all of a sudden you might hit a rough patch, and you have to just stay the course and stay
focused. That's where that residual income comes in. So then you have to learn about the team building.
Yes, that's where the team cycle bonus comes into play. But you only get team cycle bonus if you're consistent with your business in the beginning. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what he talked about tonight, what Bo Eason talked about to us tonight, because I think it's relevant to the questions about asking people about coaching. So if you're super new on here, this will apply to you, but I just want you to think about it in a way of challenge packs, challenge groups, and connecting. And if you've been a coach for a while, I want you to think in the aspect of enrolling coaches and sharing your story about coaching and what that's done for you versus just challenge groups and programs. So the first thing he said that I thought was really cool was he loves working with Beachbody because we have the mindset of elite athletes. We have the mindset of, I want to be the best. I was born to be the best in the field that I've chosen, and I'm going to be the best in the field that I've chosen. And again, he's told his story, and he's like, every day for 20 years, I woke up and I did this and I did that and I did this. And he was told that he wasn't good enough. He wasn't going to play. But he showed up. He stayed consistent. He never missed a day. And come game day, he was there and he was put in, and eyes were on him because he never gave up and was persistent. So his big thing was knowing your personal story. Because if you know your personal story and you can tell your personal story, you're going to be able to infect and effect a lot more people, because they'll be able to personalize it with themselves. So the first tip he told us was your story has to be personal. It can't just be, oh, I lost 50 pounds and I, got off blood thinners, or, I fit into size 4 jeans. Like, it has to be super personal. It has to say like specific names and specific moments and times and memories, and this allows people to connect with you. This allows to break that barrier of vulnerability, and he called it connective tissue. It leaves that connective tissue for them, something for them to hold on to. So when he was telling his story, he was talking about specific guys on the team that affected his life. And each different milestone of the story, he talked about specific names. It wasn't just a friend or so-and-so. Like, he mentioned specific names. And he said, the reason I do this and the reason that this is effective is because when you're telling your story and you're using those names and you're using those moments, people aren't remembering their best friend or your best friend. They're thinking about their best friend in that hardship. So his example was of getting on the football field in the seniors, and the two guys that he was talking about. And so he was like, I'm talking about them and getting over this hump, and who came in and stole helped me get dressed and get on the field. So who is that for you? Who pushed you to get on the field? Like, who helped you motivate yourself, and who believed in you when you believed enough in yourself, but everyone else was telling you not to? Who was that person that stepped in and said, you can do this. I believe in you and you can do it. Let's see what you got. And he told a story about his dad and how his dad had scar tissue on his hands from being a cowboy in the rope. So his hands were all, rough. And he was like, you're not thinking about my dad and my dad's hands. You're thinking about your dad and the struggles your dad went through and what your dad has accomplished. And he's like, that's what you want to know your story for. That's what you have to relate it for, because people are going to start thinking about their story and who and your story and how they relate. So you have to know your story. It has to be personal. He said if it's personal, the more personal it gets, the more universal it gets. Because kind of like what I told you earlier, Lisa, like the more personal and the more you tell it, the more people you're going to be able to connect to. The more people that are going to hear it, the more people that are going to go, yep, that's me. Yep, she's talking to me.
Now, how much is too much to share stuff like that? I guess where's the balance at in that?
What do you mean? Like, how often?
Yeah, like how often do you share different stories? Okay, so you share that story and then you have another personal story. Like, how often do you share your personal stuff?
My personal stuff usually comes when I'm doing like a coaching post or like a coaching jab, when I want to talk about like a transformation or a big moment in my life. So maybe 2 or 3 times a week, I'm sharing something pivotal in my life, whether it's my family, my faith, or my fitness. It changes categories each time. But I think with that and sharing your story is also where, you writing your story down and recording it. So that way you can hear it, and you're confident in saying it. Which leads us to the second thing he said. You have to have some physicality or behind your story. You can't just be like, my story. Like, you have to be confident. You have to own your story and know your story. And people are going to believe your story. People are going to be inspired by your story. If you come here and tell me like, oh yeah, I lost like, 80 pounds and, I matched my income for, before I had the kids and blah, blah, blah. Like if you tell it that way, people are going to be like, are you making this up? Like they're not going to believe you. But if you come in and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I lost 80 pounds during this program and 21 Day Fix has completely changed the way I think about food and how I feel in my body. And, I found that I was eating a lot more carbs and no vegetables. And it's just really broadened my horizons to try more food and recipes. And man, Shakeology, like I was not sold on it at first. Like I was really hesitant and I was just doing it because I had to, because I had to do it to be a coach. But now like I see the value in it. And if you get excited about that, if you like your body, your demeanor, that says a lot. And that's why like getting on the phone, like for us as coaches, that might mean people being able to hear your voice so they can hear that emotion, they can hear that excitement, and they don't just see it on a computer screen like, oh, I'm super excited to have you. But they hear you say, I'm so excited to have you on the team and I'm so excited about what this is going to do for you. Same thing with these team calls. You don't see me sitting here like, oh, yeah, tell your story. Like, make sure it's good. Like, no, like, I want you to know your story. Like, I want you to absorb this. I want you to be excited. And if I'm not confident and excited about it, how do I expect you to be confident and excited about it? Right? Like, that's not going to be fun. So having confidence. And he also talked about being a predator. He's like, humans are predators. We were made to be predators. We were made to hunt, to gather, to procreate, to protect. Like, that's what we were made to do. He was like, and that's what you need to do when you walk into a room. You need to like have that predator mindset, and not in a bad way, not in like a shark where you want to attack, but in a confidence way. And like, this is what I'm here for. This is my purpose. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I was set out to do, and I'm going to accomplish it. However that timeline is, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to accomplish it. She's laughing at me. Oh, funny. So owning your story, knowing your story, being personal with your story, and then having a physicality, having a confidence behind your story. So my challenge to you would be to write down your story. And an easy way to do this is write down a before Beachbody, a during Beachbody, like what did you do, what programs did you do, what did you learn, and then an after. And I use the word after loosely, but where are you now? And it might not be a complete after. Some areas might be, but other areas are probably still areas of growth, and that's fine. But when you know your before, you know what helped you get from your before to your after, that's your story. And it doesn't have to be just your physical story. It doesn't have to be your physical transformation. But sharing, like, for me, it's been a huge faith journey for me. I would have never thought that with coaching. Like, seriously? Like, I grew up in a church. I've had a relationship with Jesus my whole entire life. But it wasn't until I got pregnant with the twins that it went from just this relationship and he was there when I needed to this, like, I'm going to cry, but to this, like, I prayed every single day for those kids, and I prayed every single day for that pregnancy and for him to like carry us through and to take care of me and to take care of the kids. And this might be TMI, but I prayed that I'd be able to feed the kids. That was like my biggest worry. Like, I just wanted to have enough supply to feed the kids. I don't care what it took. I didn't care what I had to do, but I just wanted that supply. And through that pregnancy is when like my relationship really started to like grow and to go into a whole different realm of trust and faith. And then after I had them, I kind of filled it out because you go through that motherhood and it's like crazy and there's so much going on and I'm up all night and, like it just took a back burner. And it wasn't until coaching, it wasn't until I had to do that personal development, until I had to like to have the faith that I could do this all, until I turned back to him to carry me through it. And I've not stopped for 2.5 years. Like, my relationship has just consistently grown. And I attribute that a lot to coaching, because devotions and prayer time has been my personal development for many, many days. And so it doesn't have to be this big physical transformation, but what has coaching done for you? What has challenge groups done for you? Challenge groups provided me a group of women that, as a stay-at-home mom and a new mom, I didn't have support. Like, I had no idea what to do. But joining a challenge group, I met my coaching team. I met Meg and coaches on the team, and it gave me the confidence and the tools and the ability to go out and network with more moms who were moms of twins, who were new moms, who were exclusively pumping moms. And I built this awesome, awesome network of friends who I still talk to. Some of them joined challenge groups. Some of them are now on my team. Some of them have done nothing, but they're really good friends of mine. So you have to think about all those different facets of what coaching has done for you and what challenge groups have done for you. And in spite of just healthy eating and learning how to drink water or cool recipes, inside out, what has it done for you? Starting from the inside, how has this changed you? How has this shaped you? How has it changed your marriage, your relationship with your kids, your ability to take care of your kids or to take care of yourself? Like, those are the big life-changing stories that inspire other people. Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent there. But so also he said, and I really love this, like, if we're not using our bodies how God intended it, then we're doing a disservice to ourselves. And I really thought it was cool that he mentioned that, of course. And, you know, because it is a really cool concept to think about, like that physicality part again. Like, he built us to be strong. He built us to be resilient. He didn't build us to be sluggish and tired and, you know, frustrated and beating our bodies down. Like, he built us to be confident and to hunt and to do what we set out to do. So keep that in mind too. And then the last thing was being generous. So being generous with your time, being generous with your knowledge, being generous with your heart and with your love. And this is probably the hardest one for me, to be honest. You know, how much of you can you give in every aspect? And for me, this would be a very fine line. So if you can relate to this, probably, but it can get really hard to give 100% to all these different areas of your life. But if you can be generous with your knowledge, with your love, with your time, with your heart, and you have that spirit of generosity is how he described it, people are going to be able to connect with that. And he said, like, when he was talking about this topic, he said, be so generous and have such a spirit of generosity that people, it was like a double negative, people won't be able to look away from you. So if you have that spirit of generosity, of that, like, yeah, I'm going to spend time with you, of course. Like, of course, let's get on a call, or let's, you know, how can I help you? Message me, text me. If you have that, people are going to be able to connect with you and feel valued and feel loved and feel worthwhile. And they're not going to be able to look away from you. They're not going to be able to go, she wasn't so nice to me. I'll move on. I'll find a different coach. If you extend that extra mile, that extra foot, that extra phone call, that extra message, people are going to be able to relate with that and connect with that. And they won't be able to just look the other way from you. So his big thing was your story and knowing your story and sharing your story. And those are the 3 tips he gave us. And again, this is all new to me too. So it's stuff that I'm going to look at, and I'm going to put the website up that he gave us. And he said that is going to give us more tools. So I'm going to check it out and see if that was that call related, or if that's going to be open for everybody. And if it is, I'll post it in the team page so that you can kind of learn how to personalize your story and go through exercises and things like that to do that. So how do you apply this, and what should you do? And Lisa's question was really good. Like, how often do you do this? You could, 1 time a month, lay out your whole entire story if you want to. If you want to type it all out. I kind of did this last night on my like page. I created a new cover photo, and in the description of my the cover photo, I just kind of told my story in a nutshell. And so if you click on my cover photo, you get a little glimpse of me. You can dig a little deeper on a consistent basis. So on my cover page, there's a button that says click here. Click there, it just opens the cover page and you can see the description. So that's one way you could do that. The other way is by posting, and you've probably heard this term before, but leaving breadcrumbs of your story. You don't need to spew it all out at once, but if every other day or a few times a week, you're just leaving breadcrumbs and little snippets of your story and what's changed and what you were like before and what you were like after, people are going to start connecting with that, and people are going to connect with different breadcrumbs that you leave. And, maybe when they message you, you can tell them your whole story. But if you just start leaving breadcrumbs and little bits and pieces about your befores and your transformations and being personal with it, you're going to start connecting with people. People are going to trust you and connect with you. So I will open it up for general questions. I really wasn't even planning on talking about anything. I was going to open it up, but I think that was just a really cool call. And I think just for our whole business, like your story is what's driving your business, your personal story, your personal triumphs and struggles is what inspires your business. So I think it's really key for you guys to know and to learn and to be confident in sharing. So does anyone have specific questions they want answered? Any comments, hesitations, excitements, anything? No? Nobody? You guys are all so quiet.
Yeah, I know. I'm just pretty tired. I was actually asleep before this call.
Oh, you're funny. You're funny. Any questions? Jennifer, I know you stepped away for a second.
Yeah, sorry, my daughter was up.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah, I don't really have any questions. I just needed this, and it was really good to get onto Bo's chat. Yeah, just
Good.
the summer is so crazy here. I know everybody has crazy lives and busy seasons, but definitely the summer I've just been like just to squeeze everything in, but I'm trying to stay focused and doing my personal development, and I've been finding that that's been
good. Are you
me and on track?
Are you traveling, or is it just day-to-day stuff?
Yeah, well, we did camping for 4 days, and then we farmed. So just